So you guys wouldn't believe how many times I've been asked over the course of this week, hey, are you going to do a part two to your 10 iconic wrestling shirts? And I thought about it and I was like, well, I don't know. I'm starting a new job this week. I got a lot of stuff going on. Absolutely, I'm going to do a part two. So ladies and gentlemen, I am Talon Williams. This is Movement Radio. And these are 10 more iconic wrestling t-shirts. Let's not waste time. Let's jump straight into it. So I failed to realize that in last week's video, I did not put a John Cena shirt. And I thought, well, aren't all the John Cena shirts pretty much interchangeable? All you're doing is just changing the color scheme. But then I thought, no, I'm going old school John Cena. Ruck Fools. This was a shirt that came out when he was in his early heel run with the hip hop character. No, he may have been already turned babyface at this point, but yeah, because he was against an authoritarian general manager. I can't remember who exactly. I think it was Paul Heyman, I believe. But yeah, the Ruck Fools shirt. This to me is my favorite John Cena shirt of all time. And yeah, all his shirts have been pretty iconic because of the color changes and all the different, themes that he puts on the shirts and stuff like that. But for me, this will always be my favorite John Cena shirt. I think it's honestly his best John Cena shirt, to be honest with you. And I'd like to see him make a comeback to this. I mean, surely with his current heel run, he could possibly do this, but, days in the past, I guess. But if I'm going to talk about a John Cena shirt, I also got to talk about a Randy Orton shirt. And to me, this was Randy Orton's best shirt because it was at the peak of his evilness in WWE. I got to go with this RKO shirt right here. It's got the cool little tribal design in the back with the RKO and Old English lettering in the middle. And the front was this weird looking skull. It looked like it had antlers coming out the top of it. I thought this was just a really badass design. And I think when people see this shirt, they automatically think of the 2009 Randy Orton, which to me is the most evilest of evil Randy Orton has ever been, in my opinion. And I definitely think this shirt is iconic. But then when you think of Randy Orton, you also think of Triple H, Ric Flair, Dave Batista when they were in Evolution. So you got to go with this one as well. The old school Evolution t-shirt, paid, laid, and made, the tagline, because they were the cream of the crop. They were the 1% of WWE, basically. And plus, this Evolution design is just, it looks beautiful, man. It looks like a family crest. It just looks amazing to me. And I really think that this is very, very iconic, well, in and of itself. So in last week's video on TikTok, somebody commented, hey, the Mick Foley Have a Nice Day shirt is also pretty iconic. And yes, it is pretty iconic, but I have something of Mick Foley's that's just a little bit more iconic. It's the Cactus Jack shirt. When you think of this shirt, I mean, yes, you think of Mick Foley. By the way, Mick Foley, awesome person to talk to. Met him last year. Really cool guy to talk to. But yeah, this right here, the Cactus Jack shirt, the wanted poster with Cactus Jack on the front. To me, when I think of a Mick Foley shirt, this is what I think of. I don't think of any of his stuff from TNA or even in WWE, even though he did Cactus Jack in WWE. But this is what I think of. I think of Cactus Jack, the old school outlaw kind of wanted poster look. To me, it's classic, it's iconic, and it definitely deserves to be on this list. So last week I talked about how the old school black and white NWO shirt was my very first shirt that I ever bought. And we also talked about the Wolfpack shirt. And those shirts are iconic in and of itself. But I believe another faction has grown to that iconic status over the last several years. And that's the Bullet Club shirt. It's a bunch of Gaijin wrestlers going to Japan, invading New Japan Pro Wrestling, and they became the bad guys, the main heel faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And the design, it looks simplistic, but I think simplicity gives it that iconic status, because it has the Bullet Club. It's got like these, they got the marks on the side, the guns in the middle, the skull. It's all iconic to me. And I really think that this shirt is creeping up there. I don't believe it is iconic as the NWO, but it's definitely gaining ground over the many, many years. So yeah, the Bullet Club shirt's got to be considered of iconic status. Shout out to the late great Scott Hall. Shout out to my boy Razor Ramon. We miss you, man. We love you. I'm sorry, guys. This shirt's goated. I'm sorry. It really is. This is iconic. The first time I ever remember somebody wearing this shirt was at the 1994 SummerSlam when Razor Ramon and Diesel were going against each other for the Intercontinental Championship, and making his way to the ring alongside Razor Ramon was the one and only Chicago Bear running back, the late, great Walter Payton, and he was rocking this shirt on the way to the ring. That's why I remember it, because it was so iconic, because he was wearing this shirt on the way to the ring. And I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, man, I mean, the yellow fading into the white, Razor's face in the middle, and by today's standards, people might not look at it as like, oh man, it's kind of a old shirt. Well, yes, it's an old shirt. It's a vintage shirt. It's from the early 90s, but still iconic, classic. I think it's a great shirt. So last week I talked about a Macho Man shirt. This week I'm talking about a Macho Man shirt, but this Macho Man shirt's a little bit different. It's Madness. Yes, this is the iconic Madness NWO black and white shirt that Macho Man was wearing when he was with the NWO. It was really he was doing the whole Madness thing. He wasn't doing the crazy colors anymore. The pomp and circumstance, no pun intended. But yeah, this is just, I love the squiggle designs on this thing. Madness pops right at you. And of course, it's got the NWO logo down here at the bottom of the shirt. Yeah, I think this is iconic too. I think it's iconic simply because I never understood why Macho Man joined the NWO to begin with. I mean, I get it. NWO was the thing, but still, but we got this cool looking shirt out of the deal. So I guess it worked out, right? I also wanted to include a shirt involving The Rock on the list, and I tried to think of what was the most iconic shirt that he wore. And it was something so simple that it went over my head. Just Bring It. Just Bring It on the front, the Brahma Bull logo on the back. Kind of the shirt that really made him stand out a little bit, because most of the time The Rock was wearing those pastel colored t-shirts and stuff like, or those pastel colored button-up shirts and stuff like that. So he didn't really wear a whole lot of his own merch, but when he did, it was this. And this merch, to me, I think this is the most iconic piece of Rock merch, because anytime you go to any live event, there's always at least 1 to 2 to 10 people wearing a Just Bring It shirt. You see a lot of gym bros wearing it in the gym, a couple of other people wearing it. But yeah, but Just Bring It, it's a defining moment. It's like, yeah, just bring it. I'm ready for this shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, this piece of Rock merch, I think, is his most iconic. It ain't the most iconic of all time, in my opinion, but it's definitely up there in terms of, I definitely say it's iconic status. I put this next one on the list just for the fun of it, because it was my favorite shirt by this particular wrestler. He goes by the name Nick Nemeth now, but back when he was Dolph Ziggler in WWE, I thought he had some pretty cool merch. Many people say it's not as iconic. I personally think it is. It's this one right here. It's the blue Stealing the Show and Your Girlfriend shirt. Like, to me, this is just a fun shirt to wear. The blue, I think the yellow actually makes the letters pop out even more. The white in the "and" pops out, and the zebra print zigzag pattern in the back, kind of reminiscent of the old school, like, 80s kind of rock kind of thing, which kind of was kind of what Dolph was kind of doing back in this time, even though it wasn't like so overt like it was in his later WWE run. But yeah, to me, this shirt is iconic. I would still rock this shirt to this day. Do I need to say any more? I mean, come on. This white CM Punk Best in the World shirt, the white shirt with the black around the collar and the sleeves, the Chicago inspired CM Punk logo in the middle, Best in the World on the back. This, if I'm not mistaken, he first debuted this shirt at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, where he won the WWE Championship and then ran off into the sunset. It had a little bit more where it says, like, I was there, and then the date of the event. It was Money in the Bank. I just can't remember the date and the year off the top of my head. But this is iconic. This is probably one of his most iconic shirts. Maybe some people will probably say his older CM Punk shirts were a little bit better than this, and maybe they are. But in terms of just iconic status and the moment that it debuted, and then the moment that took place after him winning the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank, that is what I believe makes this shirt so iconic. And to me, I think this is CM Punk's most iconic shirt. So there you go. This, to me, is probably one of the best, coolest looking shirts that I've seen on a WWE wrestler. But of course, as always, this is just my humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What is your favorite iconic professional wrestling shirt? Are there any shirts that I have missed? Go check out the previous video. Check out this video. Let me know if there's any more shirts you guys want me to talk about here on this channel. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys have been giving us. We appreciate you guys. We love you. And we'll catch you in the next video. I'm Talon Williams. This is Movement Radio. God's Plan.